Very, very pleasant morning to our respected teachers, honorable person, and my dear friends. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate National Science Day, observed every year on 28th February to mark the remarkable discovery of the Raman effect by the great Indian scientist C.V. Raman. On this day in 1928, his groundbreaking discovery brought immense pride to India and later earned him the prestigious Nobel Prize in Physics in 1930.
জাতীয় বিজ্ঞান দিবস আমাদের মনে করিয়ে দেয় যে বিজ্ঞান কেবল আমাদের পাঠ্যপুস্তকের একটি বিষয় নয়, এটি চিন্তা ভাবনা, প্রশ্ন, জিজ্ঞাসা এবং আমাদের চারপাশের বিশ্ব আবিষ্কারের একটি উপায়। উদীয়মান সূর্য থেকে শুরু করে আমাদের হাতে পর্যন্ত বিজ্ঞান আমাদের জীবনের প্রতিটি অংশকে প্রভাবিত করে। এটি আমাদের কৌতূহল, যৌক্তিক এবং উদ্ভাবনী শক্তির বিকাশ ঘটায়। এই দিনটি আমাদের মতো তরুণদের বৈজ্ঞানিক সত্তা বিকাশ করতে এবং পর্যবেক্ষণ ও পরীক্ষা নিরীক্ষার মাধ্যমে উত্তর খুঁজতে উৎসাহিত করে। কৌতূহল এবং অশেষ জিজ্ঞাসু চেতনা নিয়ে আমরা আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠান শুরু করছি। এই শুভ অনুষ্ঠানে কুসংস্কার, অন্ধবিশ্বাসের বেড়াজাল ভেঙেছ দুয়ার, এসেছ জ্যোতির্ময় গানটির মাধ্যমে যৌক্তিকতাবাদ ও বৈজ্ঞানিক মনন চিন্তনকে জাগ্রত করতে আমি আমার সাথে ডেকে নিচ্ছি প্রথম অর্ধবর্ষ থেকে শ্রেয়সী ও সুমিত্রা এবং তৃতীয় অর্ধবর্ষ থেকে সায়ন্তনী ঋষিতাকে। এরা একসাথে এই গানটি পরিবেশন করছে। দুয়ার এসেছ যদি দিদির অভিধান উদার দুয়ার এসেছ যদি এ বিজয় নবজীবনের নবীন আশার বর্গ এ বিজয়ী নবজীবনের নবীন আশার বর্গ চির দুয়ার এসেছ যদি প্রভাত সূর্য এসেছ রোজ দুঃখের তোমারই তোর প্রভাত সূর্য এসেছ রোজ দুঃখের তোমারই তোর ছোট এসেছ যতীন উদা এসেছ যতীন হরে হরে
Just like songs, science also teaches us harmony. Thank you, my friends, for this wonderful performance. It is my privilege and honor to invite our respected academician, mentor, and guide who has always encouraged innovation and academic excellence in our institution. I would like to call upon our teacher in charge and IQAC coordinator, Associate Professor Dr. Rituparna Basak DasGupta ma'am, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, we warmly welcome you to address the gathering. Hello, good morning, all of you. Our respected resource person for today, Dr. Lavli Sarkar, Assistant Professor, Siliguri College, and also an alumni of this college, all the teaching staff, and my dear trainees. On behalf of the principal sir and the Siliguri B.Ed College family, I welcome you all to this event. National Science Day that we celebrate on 28th February every year. This commemorates Sir C.V. Raman's discovery of the Raman effect. The official theme for this day in 2026 is Women in Science Catalyzing Vikshit Bharat. So on this day, we must address both. The theme is equally thought provoking and justified. While we pay homage to Sir C.V. Raman today, let us also celebrate invisible hands that has shaped our scientific landscape. Science has no gender, it is true, but history has often been selective in its memory. In its Gyan network, where G stands for Garib, Y stands for Yuva, A for Annadata, that is farmer, and N for Nari. In its Vikshit Bharat framework, it has emphasized the N, that is Nari, in all the four pillars. Nari is present in Garib, Nari is present in Yuga, Nari is present in Annadata, and Nari is the constant. Now, the vision of Vikshit Bharat, that is developed India by 2047, it's not all about economic growth, being the fourth largest economy. It's about technological sovereignty. For decades, the silent architects of this sovereignty have been our women researchers and scientists. Then, what is the rationale behind this theme that women in science? The answer is very simple. You cannot be what you cannot see. By teaching this young generation about the pioneers, we want to give them the opportunity, voice, access, and courage to dream big beyond the classroom to the laboratories and space stations. Now, we often fall into the trap by thinking that a rich legacy and agency that stretches back thousands and thousands years.
From the Vedic philosophers to the missile scientists today, the contribution of women is not a recent addition. It is the very foundation and continuation of our scientific sovereignty. Actually, we are witnessing a transition from charity to clarity and parity. We no longer allow women into labs as a favor done to the weaker sex. We have achieved the clarity to see that without them, our scientific sovereignty is incomplete, and we are moving towards parity not as a new goal but as a return to our roots. How? Let's look back. We have Brahmavadini Gargi in ancient Vedic era who challenged her male debaters about the nature of philosophical existence. Then we have Lilavati, the wonderful daughter of mathematician Bhaskara II, who was solving complex quadratic equations in 12th century when rest of the world was battling with the basic of arithmetic. We have Khana in medieval period who laid the foundation with her predictions on weather and seasonal changes, which laid the foundation for the indigenous agricultural sciences. And we have Vispala, as mentioned in the Rig Vedas, who is the first human, not only the woman, who was the first human to have the prosthetic leg, an iron leg, Ayasapada, after losing one leg in the battlefield. Now, this thing is very remarkable. By learning the legend of Vispala, we reclaiming our long legacy, rich legacy of medical science, and also this fact that inclusion of women in defense and army is not a new inclusion. So we are just reclaiming a legacy encoded within the DNA of Indian science. Nothing more, nothing less. These women actually, they did not wait for the technology to be handed over to them by their, the generous male or masculine patriarchy or the society. They just claimed it. From Vispala's iron leg to Tessie Thomas's titanium missiles, the story of Indian technology has always been written in the hidden lab by the silent architects, that is, our women researchers and scientists. Sophia Qureshi, Bhumika Singh, Gagandeep Khan, to name a few, are just carrying that legacy with pride further. But along with this glorification comes the dark reality also. India proudly announces that 43% that India has the out of the STEM graduates, 43% are women. Yes, it's true, and it is even surpassing the developed countries like UK having 26% and USA 34%. But unfortunately, 27% of these entered the STEM workforce. They have a high degree but very low workplace contribution. While the urban women, they face the challenge of glass ceiling and the poverty of timing. The rural women, they suffer from the sticky floor, leaky pipeline, and digital divide. And the society is busy in glorifying the mother in women and often forget to respect the woman in a mother. To the young girls of this nation in general and the young women present in this hall in particular, don't just study science or technology to get good marks, to get a good job, to get good status in the society. Learn the legacy and history attached to it. and reclaim it with pride. Go out there and build the empire and write the history again. Let the Raman effect of the next century be driven by the women effect of this one. With this, I rest my welcome speech here. I welcome once again all to this event and happy National Science Day in advance. Thank you. অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ শ্রদ্ধেয়া ডক্টর ঋতুপর্ণা বসাক দাশগুপ্ত ম্যাডাম আপনার অনুপ্রেরণামূলক কথার জন্য। বিজ্ঞান সর্বদা কৌতূহল এবং সাহসের যাত্রা। আমরা যখন মহান আবিষ্কারগুলি উদযাপন করি তখন সামাজিক ও সাংস্কৃতিক বাধা অতিক্রম করে দৃঢ় প্রতিজ্ঞা এবং প্রতিভার সাথে বিজ্ঞানের জগৎকে রূপদানকারী নারীদের অবদানকে স্বীকৃতি দেওয়ার জন্য আমরা আজকের এই মঞ্চকেই বেছে নিচ্ছি।
From, from laboratories to space missions, from research centers to classrooms, women scientists have been continuously proving that talent knows no gender. With this thought, we now move on to an insightful presentation by our first semester students, Prerna Pradhan, Shahina Yeasmin, Dipanwita Pal, Mohammad Faruk Ahmed, Simran Singh, Banani Roy, Bristi Choudhury, Prerna Topno, Meghna Roy, Subhayu Bose, Swarup Karmarkar on the topic The Story of Women in Science from Cells to Cosmos. Let us encourage them with a big round of applause as they present their PowerPoint and share the inspiring stories of perseverance, discovery, and achievement. Over to the presenters.
यहाँ पर रिमोट ट्रायंगल से होगा या फिर
Hello? Hello?
on is slow. Hello.
হ্যালো।
Hello. Hello.
Afternoon to one here. Today, on the occasion of National Science Day, we are going to shed light on the scientific contributions of scientists who have remained in the oblivion for too long. To start the presentation on a powerful note, let's look at the trailblazers in the history of Indian women. Anandabai Gopalrao Joshi, born in 1865, was married at the age of just 9 years old. 14, she gave birth. Her newborn child was just 10 days old when he died due to the lack of medical care. And that tragedy became her mission. Hello? Okay.
फिर से बोलिए शुरू कोई बात
Good afternoon to one and all present here today on the occasion of National Science Day. Anandibai Gopalrao Joshi, born in 1865, was married at just 9 years old. At 14, she gave birth and lost her newborn child at just 10 days old due to the lack of medical care. And that tragedy became her mission. It led her to pursue medicine. At 19, she traveled alone to America against the wishes of then Orthodox society. In 1886, despite battling tuberculosis, she graduated with a medical degree from Women's Medical College of Philadelphia, becoming the first Indian woman to study Western medicine. Sadly, due to her untimely death, she could not begin her practice. Her courage, however, has paved way for generations to come. At the same time, Kadambini made history as well. Apart from being the first female graduate in India, she was also the first female to secure an admission in Calcutta Medical College. She graduated despite facing criticism and went to Scotland for further training, earning multiple diplomas. She became the first Indian female doctor to practice medicine and went on to have a very successful career, inspiring many more. For the next few slides, I would like to call upon my friend Shahina.
Once the doors were opened, women not only entered the lab, they revolutionized medicine. From pioneers to practitioners, we now look at women who tackle diseases from malaria to cancer to infertility. Born in Seattle, Alice Augusta Ball, an African American chemist, was approached by the leprosy investigation station asking for help about the therapeutic use of chalmukra oil, the traditional method for treating Hansen disease, later known as leprosy. In 1915, she modified the oil's fatty acid into ethyl esters, making it water soluble and injectable. But unfortunately, she died young at the age of 24 before she could publish any of her findings, most likely due to chlorine poisoning in the lab. The president of College of Hawaii, Arthur L. Dean, continued her research but published the results without giving her any proper credit. For nearly 90 years, her contributions were overlooked. The early 2000s that her work was rightfully recognized as Ball method. For the next slide, I would like to call Dipanwita to present.
So now I'm going to talk about Ashima Chatterjee, who was the first Indian woman to get a doctorate of science in 1940. Her work has advanced the field of organic chemistry and medicine. He also conducted research on chemistry of medicinal plants, leading to the development of antimmalarial drug, treatment of malaria, and TIP drug that in 1956, treatment of epilepsy and neurological disorder. Her research on Bengal drugs advanced the chemistry and helped for the treatment of cancer. She was also the Indian woman to get the Shakshara Nobel Award for Clinical Science in 1961. This led women to pursue a career in science. For the next slide, I would like to call my friend Faruk.
From Chatterjee, we now move forward to Tumu. Tumu is a Chinese scientist who discovered artificial in the year 1962 has transformed the fight against malaria. She drew inspiration from the ancient Harvard method and applied it into the modern scientific methods. Her discovery of artemisinin in the year 1972 has saved millions of lives, for which she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in the year 2015. Another scientist, Dr. Galantil Khan, has made equally powerful contributions towards public health. Dr. Galantil Khan, is an Indian microbiologist known for her research on rotavirus, affecting and other infectious diseases affecting children. Work help shape vaccination strategies, thus helping to improve child health in India and across the world. She was the first Indian woman to be elected as the Fellow of the Royal Society in the 2019. Now I would like to call on Simran Singh to continue the presentation further.
Moving on to next slide. Imagine a time when couples who couldn't have children had almost no hope, when infertility was whispered about silence. And then in 1986, one woman changed everything. Dr. Indira Hinduja delivered India's first scientifically documented IVF baby. That moment wasn't just the birth of a child, it was the birth of a home for thousands of families. She later introduced gift technique and the egg donation method, helping many more women become mothers. Her work reduced the stigma around infertility, and in 2011 she was honored with the Padma Shri. Now, from creating life, let's move to saving life. Gertrude B. Alien changed how medicines are made. She developed rational drug design and helped create important drugs for blood cancer, organ transplant, and HIV/AIDS. In 1988, she received a Nobel Prize in Medicine for her groundbreaking discoveries in drug therapy. Even today, her research continues to save millions of lives. For next slide, I would like to call my friend Banani.
So, just like the previous scientist expanded our knowledge of science, now let's talk about Gertie Corey. She unlocked one of the human's body's greatest secret, the Cori cycle, revealing how our muscles create energy and how the liver restores it again. What seems simple today was once a scientific mystery. Her discovery became a foundation for treating diseases like diabetes. She proved that science is not limited by gender, but powered by determination. In 1947, she broke barriers by becoming the first woman to win the Nobel Prize in Medicine. By her research and contributions, she opened the doors for women in scientific research. Now, I would like to call my friend Bristi to present her slide. Now I'm going to talk about an Indian scientist, Janki Amar, who was born in Kerala in 1897. Despite the gender discrimination in the 20th century, she was the first woman to get a PhD in botany in 1931. She worked on the sugarcane maize hybrid and developed some disease-resistant and high-yield varieties that reduce the dependency on foreign varieties, making India self-sufficient in sugar production. She was a pioneer in plant cytology. Her research helped scientists understand the chromosome numbers and plant evolution. For her outstanding performance in the science and the contribution to the science, she was awarded Padma Shri in 1977. Now I'm going to ask Prerna, my friend, to present her next. So next coming up, we have a remarkable Italian scientist, Rita Levi Montalcini from the field of neurobiology. Her major contribution was the discovery of nerve growth factor in the 1950s, which revealed how nerve cells grow, develop, survive, and communicate with each other. Her discovery helped the scientists in understanding the development of nervous system. Her work contributed to potential treatments for neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. She received the Nobel Prize in 1986 for her groundbreaking discoveries in neuroscience. Now I'd like to call Meghna for the next slide.
Now, talking about Rosalind Franklin, who was an extraordinary scientist whose work was very essential for one of the greatest discoveries in biology, that is the structure of DNA. She was a British chemist. In 1950, she went to King's College where she studied about the structure of DNA and produced an X-ray image, also known as photo 51, which proved that DNA has a double helix structure. Sadly, she passed away in 1958 at the age of 37, and the Nobel Prize was not awarded posthumously. Her story teaches us not only about scientific brilliance, but also about the perseverance and the importance of giving credit where it is due. Now, moving on, we have another scientist, Esther Weatherbuck, who was also known for her work with bacteria and viruses. In 1950s, she discovered a virus called lambda-phage, a bacteriophage that infects bacteria. Despite this, she also built her own career by joining Stanford University as a professor. Work laid the foundation of modern biotechnology and genetic engineering. As women in a male dominated field, and one top Nobel laureate Joshua Letterberg, she never got professional recognition and was not considered for the Nobel Prize. Now, leaving the world of decoding in light, and we are moving towards unlocking the power of universe. For that, I would like to call Shai present.
Now, since we are on the topic of people who got denied the Nobel Prize, we should, in the field of physics, now talk about who was denied the Nobel Prize. Here I'm talking about Liz Meitner. Liz Meitner was the first person who talked about nuclear fission, which is basically the splitting of atomic nucleus to provide energy, which is nuclear energy, which is considered the most safest and as well as the most reliable source of energy. Now, despite her discoveries, she was denied the Nobel Prize. Why? First, because she was a woman. Second, also because she was a Jewish in the Nazi era. Even after this, she maintained her integrity and dignity and refused to work for the development of the atomic weapons. In order to honor her, the Nobel Committee, along with her contributions, the Nobel Committee nominated her for the Nobel Prize 48 times, but she was never elected. Later, an element named Meitnerium, which is the 109th element, was named, yeah, after her to honor her. Now, since we are on the topic of nuclear physics, we cannot forget about the scientist, the most famous scientist, one of the most famous scientists in the 1900s, who started this all. Here I'm talking about our beloved Madame Curie. Now, everybody knows who Madame Curie is. I'll tell you in a bit more way. She is not only the first woman to win the Nobel Prize, but also the only person till date to win two Nobel Prizes in two different fields. In physics, in the year 1903, for the discovery of radioactivity, and in chemistry, in the year 1911, for the discovery of two radioactive elements, polonium and radium. Her theories later on helped enable the radiation theory for cancer treatment. Now, since we're in the topic of nuclear physics and particle physics, there is an Indian scientist as well whom I would like to introduce to you guys. She is Bibha Choudhury. She is the first Indian woman physicist who worked on cosmic rays. Her experiment in high altitudes, not far from here, Darjeeling and Sandakpur, provided an experimental evidence of mesons, which are basically particles, small particles. Her foundations or theories help strengthen India's foundation in modern physics. For the next part, I would like to call from the hidden heart of the atom to the intelligence running through our machines, science is not just discovery, it's power. When nuclear physics and radioactivity expose the energy locked inside the atom, we learned a hard truth that smallest things in the universe can change everything. Today, the same understanding is driving quantum computing, where the strange rules of subatomic particles promise to solve problems that classical computers could not. 1843, while the world moved by steam and candlelight, Ada Lovelace saw the future. She wrote the first ever algorithm and proved machines could follow logic, not only calculations. That was not the theory, that was the birth of digital age. In 1969, following her footsteps, when humanity aimed for the moon, Margaret Hamilton engineered the Apollo 11 space mission. Systems failed, alarms screamed, but her code didn't flinch. It held the line and brought astronauts back home. Between 2009 and 2012, Fei gave machines sight. With ImageNet, she accelerated artificial intelligence and pushed computers from calculations to perception, from energy inside the nucleus to the first ever algorithm to software that carried humans to the moon, to machines that can now interpret reality. That's not progress, that's the evolution. And this story does not end with these few names in the history books. Chien Sheng Yu, Vera Rubin, Catherine Johnson, Rupert Chawla, Tessie Thomas, May Jemison, these are the pioneers from different fields. They did not just contribute, they expanded what humanity believed was possible. Because progress is not built by one person or one generation. It happens when every voice is heard in the equation. Science gets stronger, discovery gets bolder, and the future gets closer. Right now, somewhere, maybe even in this room, a mind is preparing to solve the next impossible problem. The story of science is not finished. The next chapter is waiting. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our first semester trainees for that enlightening and beautifully presented PowerPoint. You have wonderfully highlighted the struggles, achievements, and the invaluable contributions of women scientists across the world. Now we move to one of the most awaited segments into of today's celebration, the special lecture by our esteemed resource person. For formally introducing her, we would like to call our respected Kanan sir on the dishes.
official war. It comes in between our endeavor in academics. So today I am given the responsibility to introduce our respected resource person, Dr. Lovely Sarkar. Dr. Lovely Sarkar is presently assistant professor in Department of Chemistry in Siliguri College. She is also the member of Center of Women Studies in Siliguri College. She did her PhD on the topic physicochemical studies on various interactions in some industrial solvent systems and viscous synergy and antagonism prevailing in liquid mixtures. She has 27 international and national journal publications to her credit till date, with published book chapters on very important topics for today's world, solar energy and digital education. Her preferred and mastered areas of research include solution chemistry, host guest molecular chemistry, environmental chemistry, medicinal chemistry, and also women studies. She also have co-guided PhD research work carrying forward her legacy in science. She was awarded National Prize and Certificate of Merit from Government of West Bengal and also UGC Meritorious Research Fellowship in Science. She was also awarded the Best Paper Award from more than one regional science and technology congresses, also in international conference organized by Aligarh University. Last but not the least, what I must mention, that she is also alumni member of our college. And whenever we talk about alumni member of our college belong to science stream, and the name of Dr. Lovely Shakar always come in first row in all the senior teachers of our college because we don't know her personally. We will come to know her personally today. We have heard of her so much from our senior teachers, NM ma'am, RB ma'am, Nitya sir. So, for formally, um, um, our it's fitting that the present welcomes the path ahead, welcomes the trailblazers, our first member of our family. I will like to call lovely ma'am to stage. Kindly, ma'am, come here. Stage. And, both the formally welcome her to our family. Approved by using the invite and this is the flower with ma'am. Ma'am, this is now I am formally asking you to move forward with your presentation, with your talk. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Vanessa. So I'm very much privileged, and this is the dais where my teacher, direct teacher, RP ma'am, Rita ma'am is also here. So they are my direct teachers, those who are present here, and my students is also present over here. So it's a wonderful platform. So as a okay, please for the happy celebration as one way so we are grateful and thankful to the authority. And this topic has been selected because very proud of her that the international science league, each month is also related to the literally it is based on the women. Shut Jackie Ryan. So they are something related. And today's
I will be drawn to here.
আপনি যখন ল্যাপটপটা লাগিয়ে দিই তাহলে যেকোনো জায়গায় বসে তার সাথে এটাও থাকবে মানে কেমন লাইভ স্ট্রিমিং
Thank you. Audible?
হ্যাঁ এবার আপনি
So, just we have presented a wonderful women scientist. So it was also, I thought I will be talking about, but you have covered it up. Thank you so much. So I have planned just it for few minutes. I have a plan. I already prepared something. Now I have changed the plan in a different way. I have not prepared any PPT. Why? Because the dias is same, but few years, once a time I was sitting over there. And when the speeches were held over here, I used to see how many slides are printing, when it will be stopped. So let it be something different. So the boys, I want to ask you something. Obviously, female, the women, my dear all, just tell me some main scientists. Name of some main scientists. C. Raman, very nice. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Casey Bose, that who is our heart and soul in. Haba, very good. Nice. Yes, very good. Standing in the right way. Yeah, yeah, they are very renowned. Wow. Great. Names no, we have with us. Now, if I ask about any name of the women scientists, loudly, because she is women, and this is the women's day we can celebrate also because the theme is women in science. So please loudly speak their name. It's our day. Tracy Thomas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mary Curie. Because I am also from the chemistry background, since also a scientist of mine too, and obviously Dipanwita. So actually, I am not very familiar with this type of lecture. I am familiar with some obviously chemistry lecture, the topic, my research. But I thought what to know, what to make you bored with my own topic. And as I'm not a very renowned scientist, it's not that I have already prepared, I have done the experiments. Those are really, it is for human or not. It is for me. I read chemistry for my career, selected chemistry for my career. I did PhD for my career, cleared NET certificate for my career, nothing else. And I am doing my job for my career. I was here. Why? Why I have done that B.Ed? Is it necessary? Now it is mandatory. It's an ornamental, a beautiful sector of education where we can relax. From the regular study, we can be relaxed. We can have motivational thoughts and some interaction type. How will the teaching learning process we can generate over here from our beloved and respected teachers? Because our women, she's like an icon of style, fashion, then what will I say? The knowledge that coincide in her. She was a role model of mine at that time. Wonderful. And also, I'm also thankful to Connor sir. We had a very little interaction, fixed interaction, and he's literally, I can say, he's very enthusiastic and energetic too. So, actually, Dixit Bharat, I'm coming to the topic. Dixit means obviously it is developed, and developed India requires what? That the strong economy. If we economically be the stronger, then obviously it should have a place in the entire world. Just like USA, Russia. Then it requires a sustainable development. It requires the scientific innovations. It requires the digital technology. So sustainable development, one is a very, very important topic and a very burning issue for a few days, few years. Why this is so? Because that development, sustainable development, if I'm talking about development that meets the needs of the present generation, we without compromising the ability of the future generation for to meet their own needs. That's the actual definition. So আমরা যে রেখে যাচ্ছি, what we are using the resources, আমরা কি রাখছি for the future generation? And another very beautiful sentence is here that we do not inherit our art from the ancestor, but we do borrow it from our children, our next generation. We are literally আমরা আমরা সব ভেঙে ফেলছি অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা সবকিছু সব রিসোর্স গুলোকে ডেলিভারেটলি এটা নষ্ট করছি আমরা কিছুই রেখে যেতে পারছি না বাট ইট ইজ দ্যাট সাস্টেনেবল ডেভেলপমেন্ট বাই উইচ উই ক্যান রিসোর্স উই ক্যান তখন মুভ করতে হচ্ছে না So where the women can drive Viksit Bharat, drive the developed India? What are the sectors? Because within few years, within coming next 10 years, we can see that the normal engineering will be not taking place over there. The engineering sectors will be changing. Those that the women can take part in the space technology, women can take part in healthcare, medicine, biotechnology, they can take part in various other innovation technology, farming, then different ways. So that will the civil engineering, leather technology, petroleum engineering, that will be much that important rather than this type of engineering. So just you have drawn some examples. Stacey Thomas, who is also known as missile women. She is working with Agni 4, Agni 5, this type of missile. And she actually headed project. Just think over it. We are making food for our family. But she is doing the missiles. আমরা এখানে আগরবাতি পেছনে we are enlighting the agarbatti and she is doing enlighting the missile, right? And which is actually enhancing the Indian defense capabilities, enhancing the Indian security. আমরা তো আমাদের ফ্যামিলি সিকিউরিটি মেনটেন করতে পারছি না ইটস টু টাফ so this is actually the empowerment that actually power the strength of the women so we have to generate we have to empower we have to revolve we have to explore the inner strength in the women so just one thing I have a pink dress today and you also need to wear the pink dress why so dear why pink because Kanasta told you there is something not related with the pink because this is a very soft color and we are by default we want to be a very soft by heart by our soul. Just one thing for the male candidates just I'm giving you a gap to fill it up why or with being a man I am also a
gap. Just fill it up. If being a man, I am also a what? From male candidates. Loud. Then everyone, just talk a word. একজন মানুষের সাথে সাথে একটা মেল ক্যান্ডিডেটের সাথে সাথে আপনি আর কি human definitely we are human only male only boys everything you can be I am also a social worker so in that way but please take a part very please share brother very good. It's a genuine word everyone wow thank you like being a woman I'm also a mother that's like I want this type of words which is true nothing other than being a man. Son. One criteria, brother, son, protector, feminist, provider. Constant word. Nothing special you need to search for. Human being. Yeah, we all. Support. Support. Very nice guy. Thank you. Support me too. That's all from the males, right? So coming to the girls. While being a woman, I am also the blue lady. Sister, very nice. Son. Wow, great. Daughter. Creator. Yeah. Yeah, optimist. Nice. Artist. Yeah. Creative. Self-dependent. Nurturer. Yeah. 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 So you can think or you can you have heard all those words from the female, from the male. What words actually influence you? So being a woman, truly, frankly speaking, one thing that when some research what is going on, in my cases and with my friends, my male friends, when there is a drawback or we could not do it, they say, oh shit, we have to start it again. And the female, she said, I told you now to read the instruction first. That's the women. Women do it
with perspective, with sympathy, with empathy, with motherhood, with their own soul. We do not do the experiment only. It is our soul in that experiment. So do it for the entire women, entire world, entire country. The science is not for my family. Science is not for my own self. It is for all. So one more thing. I'm coming to the male candidates. Yes, Tiger. How did you start your morning? From morning, what did you do? You first. Let's share. You started from morning to night. Woke up in the morning. Yeah. A little bit loudly so that your friends can hear you.
Yeah, I woke up in the morning. I got just born. I went out for a walk and I came back, freshened up. I had my breakfast. I dressed up to come to the college. I meet my friends. I learn music in the college. Go back home, try to recall whatever I did. And maybe I would fall asleep in the home.
So this is your daily routine. For yours. You tuition, ठीक है. But here present those already working in a school or something and should be pressure. So any other boy, any male but candidate you can share. So more or less this is your routine, right? Okay, whom do you use? You please. তুমি কি করো সকাল থেকে? কালকে কি করেছিলে? So moral things are really same, like boys, like girls. This is that actually a wonderful timing that we are nurtured by our family in the same way. This is good. A good motivation, good motive. Sit down. With working in any other sectors, or any private job, you watch it. Then you cannot feel the situation. Man can feel, I can feel. We cannot do like you. We have so many other works, and the very priority, our chief time is in the college, and our enough time in our home. But আমাদের এমন pressure থাকে যে ওখানেও actively ওখানে take part really. So what was actually আমার যেটা motive ছিল সেটা হলো না because all you are pressure. Yeah, yeah. Yes. হ্যাঁ, সেটা how should all works sure. So it is, I think it's difficult, but you manage. And I think our boys, they literally, they have that much liability or workload. This is extra. So, that gravitational pull that forces to the same extent, boy and the girl. Electric shocks. us to the same extent, same force. We feel the same pain. But the birth pain of a mother, that is beyond limit, unimaginable. And boys cannot imagine that birth pain. That is extra pain we have to feel. We have to tolerate. So, actually, what I want to share with you that we are from multitasking to multi-discovery. That T.C. Thomas, I have given that example. Then Sutradhar, one of the renowned scientists who is known as rocket women. তো আমরা যেখানে বসে বসে চাঁদ দেখছি, চাঁদের গান শুনছি, চাঁদ কেন আসে না আমার ঘরে, and they are launching the rocket. They are solving the equations, long equations, mathematical problems, but with their family. It's not that they are choosing only the making food, making roti. It's from art science. They are studying art science. They are studying moon science. Then flip to the sun. That is Aditya L1, Nagi Shaji. She chosen as well as roti making, as well as making for the sun. Right now. So this is science. But it is really true that we don't know before today for my case আমার জন্য একই কথা before today I did not know that those names. Today I know the names of the female scientists because of that science and I have been invited. So I have to recall that names. But so many male scientists we all know from very beginning, as well as in our books, those names are not included. Only Marie Curie from very childhood we could know. But others, they are not very much famous. They are not focused. They are not explored. Kora hoy na. And this Science Day actually celebrate the Raman effect, right? That C.V. Raman discovered the Raman effect. আলোর বিচ্ছুরণ থেকে ওটা তৈরি হয়। But a sad story. When we are talking about any scientist, renowned scientist, is all the positive words you came to know. কিছু ভালো, সব ভালো. But there is a sad story behind Raman also. In 1912, Kamala Suni, a women scientist, could not take admission in the Institute of Science, Indian Institute of Science, because C.V. Raman denied, strongly protested. So why so? What may be the reason? What can you think about that? কি মনে হয় কি জন্য প্রোটেস্ট করেছিল? বা কি জন্য ওনাকে দেওয়া হয়নি অ্যাডমিশন নিতে? বিকজ অফ বিং আ উইমেন অনলি? কেন দেওয়া হয়নি? কি হতে পারে? যাতে ওরা লিড করতে না পারে, they do not take part in any leadership, because the history was made for by the masculine. History was generated by masculine. History was created by masculine. History was run by masculine. And now the era has got changed. We are raising our voices. যদি আমরা খুব চুপচাপ থাকি, যদি আমরা ভয়েস রেজ না করি, যেখানে সেখানেই থেকে যাব। এখনো আছে ইউএসএ তে কি আছে কি যখন একটা মেল ক্যান্ডিডেট একটা ফিমেল ক্যান্ডিডেট both were selected for the interview, both were called for the interview, both have been selected, but the pay gap is different, huge difference pay gap. তো যখন এটা নিয়ে খুব একটা প্রোটেস্ট হলো তখন কি করলো ওকে we will not take the male candidates, we will take only female candidates. Very good, very nice. We are very happy. The women were very happy throughout the USA. But the sad story is the way the main candidate was given, suppose 50,000. And by that, two women candidates were hired who were given 25 plus 25. So again, the pay gap. So there is a actually very sad stories. The challenge situations in the entire world, and we have to overcome that challenges. Literally, slowly, but we have to. What are the challenges? কি আমাদের চ্যালেঞ্জ গুলো কি আছে একটা উইমেন সায়েন্টিস্ট হবে? ওকে, ওয়ান থিং, লিটারেচার নিয়ে কেউ পড়েছে? লিটারেচার, এসো বেঙ্গলি, ওকে, জাস্ট স্ট্যান্ড আপ। তোমার সাথে আমার দেখা হবে। কেন তুমি কেন পড়েছো? তুমি সায়েন্স কেন নাও? ভালো লাগতো, মানে অনলি ভালো লাগার জন্য তুমি এটা পড়েছো, বা সায়েন্স ভালো লাগতো? বেশি ভালো লাগে। আর কেউ আছে লিটারেচার নিয়ে পড়েছে? দ্য মেলস, বয়েজ, তুমি কেন নিয়েছো? ম্যাথসে কম এসছে। Okay, that's a true confession. Actually, from girls, science background, just raise up your hands. Who are from literally science background? So this says the observation is not very high, as ma'am already told you. Same education, science, technology, innovation, mathematics, engineering. For same education was up to BSc graduation. It was around 34% in 2014. Now it has increased to 43% in 2006. Great achievement. Nothing. So, nothing to say. It's a great achievement and we are thankful. Girls are coming for the same education, for the higher education, for the research, for the PhD works, for the scientific innovation. There is only 18% girls remaining. So where are the 24 to 25% gone? Nora? কোথায় চলে গেল? Maybe drop out for marriage, for motherhood, maybe some social barriers, family barriers. তাই নয় কি? আর কিছু ইস্যুস হতে পারে যে চলে গেল, থাকলো না? আর is it, you think it is your fault that you have not studied the science? It's not there. It is not your fault. It is that no influencer was there, no teacher was there to motivate you, coach you. ছিল না কেউ সেরকম। যদি থাকতো তাহলে আজকে তুমি ম্যাথ পড়তে, আজকে তুমি সায়েন্স পড়তে। কেউ মোটিভেট করতে পারেনি, ওখানে একটা ল্যাকিং থেকে গেছে। দ্যাটস দ্য রিজন। Everyone, we have the same brain, same capability. Those maybe more or less, but we can increase by practicing. Maybe some more time can be taken, but it is possible. Right now? So it is the lacking of motivation. So it's our duty motivate our children, our next generation. ঠিক আছে? তো আমাদের as being a platform, same platform, the teaching learning process, we need scientific learning process, teaching learning method that will step by step procedural thinking, deep learning, deep thinking. But free क्या है ना? For it, this is the era of AI, artificial intelligence, digital learning, digital technology everywhere. So previously we did in which way we are teaching not be so far. এটা আর চলবে না because the children smarter and smarter. You, they have the answer. By one click they can get the answer. So you have to motivate your children, your students. It's not that you will be coming, you will be going to your class, you will directly, you will speech, you will take the directions, they will listen. No, they will be boring and they will be thinking, oh my God, this teacher will be coming and I will be becoming very much bored. They will be already they are tensed, already they are in disciplines. There is no need to make them disciplined, make them curious. So it's your responsibility how to create the curiosity, how to create them, create the আরো কি করে ওদের এনার্জেটিক করে দেওয়া যায় একটা ক্লাসের মধ্যে, so that they can hear you. Not only they will listen your instruction, they can innovate, they can observe, they can feel your lecture, feel your lessons, and your time. That means the teacher talking system, teacher talking time will be TTT will be 30%, and student talking time STT will be of 70%. So they will, the feedback portion will be much greater. So you can put before starting a lecture, you can put some jokes or just break the ice. You can put some storytelling. You can put some video clips. So it will be so much interesting, so much interactive. Otherwise, they will fall asleep or they will be like switched off. So the generation has changed, the children are changed, the whole era has been changed. So as being women, we can start up this because from being a mother, we can nourish a child from very beginning, right? So, that government also have some various plans over there for female scientists, the Vice Siran, Vice Postdoctoral Fellowship, Vice PhD Fellowship, IPR Fellowship, then Innovative Scientific Fellowship, some postdoctoral only from meritorious student, then Vigyan Jyoti, and one of the very, very interesting and mentoring program to mentor or monitoring the scientific science students background from class 9 to class 12. This is only for female. So those are not in our very close. We cannot know. Actually, we don't know. Those planning are over there present in our country. So those we have to avail. And literally, we can say that from ISRO, that majority now majority obviously the male candidates, but the number of female candidates, women scientists, that has been increased in ISRO. DRDO scientists, that also that women candidates are now increasing. So whenever children or a child will come with you, you have to explore, you have to generate the curiosity in the child by observation. So first is for the teaching learning process, what will be scientific, obviously, first you have to generate the curiosity by observation. Then it will be, he will answer. He will search for the reason why this is so. Any example? Then he will search for the reason. And lastly, he will search for the probable answers. That is it, hypothesis. For the hypothesis, he will get so many answers. He will read books, he will study materials, he will have some articles from YouTube videos, and finally, he will do the experiments. Literally experiment, repeated experiment, and she or he will get a data. Finally, she will analyze and make a report. And by other person, it will be again analyzed, then the same experiment will be done, and the experiment will be over, and finally it will be established that this was the result. So your teaching will be like hands-on experiment, will be very much active, where the student will take part actively. Not the only one way interaction is there. So it's the কতক্ষণ হলো অলরেডি হয়েছে, ঠিক আছে, মোটামুটি হয়ে গেছে। So it's a way we can think that the female, we do not want any help. We do not, we only want the empathy, sympathy, that's all. We only want the good words from our friends. That is enough for us. We want encouragement. So please, the males, we do not want any, just you will give us the leadership, you will access us for any leadership area, you will give us the space. Don't do that. Please do it that you will go away from our own away. আমাদের রাস্তা থেকে just সরে যেতে বলছি। Please make us that place so that we can explore ourselves. So it's not that all the scientists, Only they were involved in roti making, only food making, only nurturing their children, only for the family. They are also elaborately, they were doing both experiments as well as food making. Everyone, every scientist, and also wearing the sari. Majority of women in India, they wear the sari, not like my Christian teens. So it is possible. So whenever a scientist, women scientist, she's working, she takes care of her family, she remembers the date of birth, she is doing the experiment, she is calculating the huge mathematical problems, she is remembering the anniversary dates, till she asks, did you eat? তুমি কি খেয়েছো? Right? So that's all for the day. I think I have not bored you.
नहीं यहाँ को स्वासन करना पड़ेगा हाँ ये पासवर्ड तुम शुरू करोगी ना और इसमें से
Sarkar, your highly enlightening, thought-provoking lectures. Your values, insights, rich research experience, and inspiring journey has truly enriched understanding, motivated us to look at this focused area of science with deeper curiosity and commitment. Continuing with this spirit, practical and innovative learning, we now forward to an exciting and creative segment of today's program.
বিজ্ঞানকে শিক্ষার্থীদের জন্য সহজলভ্য এবং আকর্ষণীয় করে তোলা হয়, তখন তা আরো অর্থবহ ও মনোগ্রাহী হয়ে ওঠে। এই বিষয়টি মাথায় রেখে আমাদের তৃতীয় অন্তর্বর্ষের প্রশিক্ষণার্থীরা সুমিত্রা, সুপর্ণা, সালোনি, বরবানি, শাহাদাত এবং আমি আদ্রিজা এখন শ্রেণীকক্ষে বিজ্ঞান শিক্ষাদানের জন্য কম খরচে বিনামূল্যে প্রস্তুত টিচিং লার্নিং ম্যাটেরিয়ালস এর উপর একটি সংক্ষিপ্ত উপস্থাপন করব। এই উদ্ভাবনী মডেল এবং প্রদর্শনীগুলি আমাদের দেখাবে কিভাবে সহজলভ্য উপকরণ ব্যবহার করে বৈজ্ঞানিক ধারণাগুলি ব্যাখ্যা করা যায়, যা শিক্ষাকে সাশ্রয়ী এবং কার্যকর করে তোলে।
So, good afternoon, everyone. So, today we are demonstrating low cost, no cost TLMs, which means creating TLMs with almost minimal investment or no investment at all. With minimal with minimal investment or no investment at all. So, it is very necessary for a science teacher to create learning materials with materials that are easily available around us. So today I have an A4 size paper with me, which is easily available in our classrooms. So, okay, can anyone tell me that which topic of life science can we teach with the help of this A4 size paper? Okay, so let's see. I have an A4 size paper with me, and now I am performing this activity. So, with the help of this paper, I have made the structure of a leaf which shows its flat surface as well as its midrib. Now, with the help of this paper, I have made a simple leaf. So, if I have some margins or serrations at the edges, this will still be a simple leaf, right? Okay. So, if I put this margin or this incision which touches the midrib, okay. So, I am cutting this, and it is almost touching the margin with the midrib, and their leaflet formed. So the same paper through which I showed a simple leaf, now we can see compound leaf being made with the same paper. So further, when I cut this leaf and make a feather-like structure, now this will be a ultimately compound leaf. And where there are even number of leaflets and an odd number of leaflets present at the top, this will be interpinate leaf. And when I remove this, and there are just even number of leaves present, so it will be peripinate leaf. So with the help of this simple A4 size paper today, I demonstrated the structure of a leaf as well as its classification. So the main motive of no cost TLM is to create innovative science teaching learning materials which have career impact and they are brighter on the pocket.
গুড আফটারনুন এভরিওয়ান। তো আমাদের ফিজিক্যাল সায়েন্স এই কথাটা বললে আমাদের চোখের সামনে ভেসে ওঠে ল্যাব এবং বিভিন্ন রকমের যন্ত্র। বাট অনেক সময় অনেক ওয়েস্ট ম্যাটেরিয়ালের সাহায্য ফিজিক্যাল সায়েন্সে অনেক এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করা যায়। আজকে আমি সেরকমই কিছু ওয়েস্ট ম্যাটেরিয়াল নিয়ে এসেছি ফিজিক্যাল সায়েন্সের একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট টপিকের উপর ডেমনস্ট্রেশন করতে। তো তোমরা দেখতেই পাচ্ছ এখানে আমি একটা ওয়েস্ট বোতল, একটা স্টপ নিয়ে এসেছি। দেখতেই পাচ্ছ আমি বোতলের হাফ পোর্শনে জল ভরেছি এবং তার মধ্যে আমি স্টপ রেখেছি। বেলুনটি আমি আগে থেকে ফুলিয়ে বোতলের মুখে করে নিয়েছি। স্বাভাবিকভাবে এখানে বোতল স্টপের জল আছে, কিন্তু সেক্ষেত্রে কি জল পড়ার কথা, কিন্তু দেখো এইখানে জল কিন্তু পড়ছে না। তো এবার আমরা দেখি তো কোনো ম্যাজিক করে স্টপার দিয়ে আমরা জলটা আনতে পারি কিনা। তো এই বেলুনের মধ্যে বেঁধে রাখা সুতোটাকে আমি খুলে দিব। জল পড়ছে, আবার বন্ধ হয়ে যাবে। শুধু ছাড়ি কিছু জল পড়ছে। কি জিনিস আছে যেটা বোতলের ভিতরে জলের মধ্যে আসছে, তারপরে জল কি হচ্ছে সুপার দিয়ে বেরিয়ে যাচ্ছে। বেলুনের মধ্যে আমরা তো হাওয়া থাকে, হাওয়া হাওয়া এই বোতলের ভিতরে জলের উপর চাপ দিচ্ছে, এর ফলে কি হচ্ছে জলটা স্টোপার দিয়ে বেরিয়ে যাচ্ছে। মানে আমি এখান থেকে কি বলতে পারি, সে বস্তুর উপর চাপ দেয়, আর মানে আজকে আমরা এখানে কি দেখতে পেলাম যে কিছু কিছু ওয়েস্ট ম্যাটেরিয়ালের সাহায্যে বায়ুর চাপের পরীক্ষাটা কত সুন্দরভাবে আমরা করতে পারি। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Good afternoon, respected teachers and my dear friends. So, in life science, we know that there are some organisms which is at microscopic level, right? And some parts of our internal body organs which is not easily visible to our naked eye. So, what we do for demonstrating that, we generally use a chart or a model to clear the concept among the student, right? Now, so there should be our tendency to use that material which is easily available in our environment to show the student so that the concept can be easily clear. Now, I'm using here, you can see this is a simply cartoon box, right? And this box is generally a shoe box, and this we get when we order something like in Amazon or Flipkart, we get this kind of box. Right? What I did here, the covered box, I have cut it into the two parts. One is the longitudinal section, and the other one is the smaller vertical section. And over here, I have simply cut with the help of scissors in the minute section over here. Now, let us consider it as a human body, as a heart of our human body. Now, in heart, we know there are four chambers, right? Two auricles and two ventricles. Now, by using this heart, we will place here to serve the two parts of our heart, that is to clear the concept that how oxygenated and deoxygenated blood or the pure and the impure blood is separate from each other. Now, I can use this as well to put over here to divide it into four parts. That is two auricles and two ventricles. Now you can see it has been divided into the four chamber. And also in among students, we can clear the concept that how the direction of our blood, which comes from the different parts of of our body, it enters in the auricle, then it passes from auricle to ventricle, how it passes to blood, all the concept can be easily explained among them. Now, if we gently press this, we can also get the concept that how contraction of the muscle happens in our heart and how continuously pump or works to keep us to stay alive. Thank you. Good afternoon. তো এতক্ষণ আমরা দেখলাম যে ওয়েস্ট ম্যাটেরিয়ালস বা একেবারেই খুব কম খরচে ব্যবহার করে আমরা প্রসেসটাকে ইন্টারেস্টিং বানাতে পারি বাচ্চাদের কাছে বিশেষ করে। যেমন একটা সিম্পল A4 পেজ দিয়ে সুমিত্রা একটা স্ট্রাকচার দেখালো, কি একটা ডিসপোজেবল বোতল এবং একটা একটা ক্যালিব্রেশন দেখানো গেল। তো আমি একটা ফিজিক্সের একটা কনসেপ্ট দেখানোর চেষ্টা করছি। আমরা সবাই ছোটবেলায় পড়েছি বাউন্সি বা প্রবণতা সম্পর্কে। সেটা কি জিনিস আমি তার মধ্যে যাচ্ছি না, কিন্তু বাচ্চাদের কাছে কি করে ইন্টারেস্টিং লাগবে একটু তার জন্য খরচ করতে হবে না, সেই জিনিসটা দেখানোর চেষ্টা করছি। তো আমার কাছে দুটো সেম মাপের দুটো ফ্রুট আছে, খুবই ইজিলি পেয়ে যায়। আমরা চকলেট খাই, চকলেটের র্যাপ করা থাকে। আমরা জোম্যাটো সুইগি থেকে খাবার অর্ডার করি, খাবার র্যাপ করা থাকে। তো আমাদের অনেক সময় আমাদের কিচেনেও অ্যাভেলেবেল থাকে, তো সেখান থেকে দুটো সেম মাপের ফয়েল কেটে নিয়েছি। তো এইবার আমি শাহাদাতকে বলবো
কয়েলের মধ্যে আমি ওকে তিনটা কয়েন দিচ্ছি। কয়েনে র্যাপ করে তোমার একদম পুরো র্যাপ করে মুড়ে দিবে। এবার এটা জলের মধ্যে দিয়ে দাও। ঠিক আছে। তো এবার আমরা দেখছি যে র্যাপ করা কয়েন গুলো একদম জলের নিচে চলে গেছে। ঠিক আছে? ঠিক আছে। এইবার আমি সেম মাপের আরো একটা কয়েল নিয়েছি। তো এটাকে আমি একটা বোটের শেপ দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করব। প্রথমে একটা ফোল্ড করে নিলাম। ছোট একটা জানি না কেমন হলো, তবে একটা বোটের মধ্যে কিছু একটা শেপ আসলো। আর এইটাকে আমি এই জলের ওপরে ছেড়ে দিলাম। কি দেখছি? এটা ভেসে আছে। এবার আমি শাহজাহানকে বলবো এক কয়েন ওর উপর দিতে। একটা, দুটো, তিনটে। আর এটা কিন্তু এখনো ভেসে আছে। তিনটে কয়েন অলরেডি দেওয়া হয়ে গেছে। ঠিক আছে? এবার আরো আরো কয়েন দাও। চারটে, পাঁচটে। তো আমরা দেখছি যে প্রথম তিনটে কয়েন দিলাম, কিন্তু ওটা ডুবে গেল ফয়েলটা। কয়েনটাকে বোটের মতো শেপ দিলাম, তাতে অলমোস্ট করতে পারছে। তাহলে এখান থেকে আমরা সারফেস এরিয়া ভার্সেস বাউন্সির একটা রিলেশন বুঝতে পারছি। এই ফয়েলটাকেই আমি যদি তুলে মুড়ে দিই, যেটা ডুবে যাচ্ছে। একটা সিম্পল জাস্ট একটা ফয়েল টুকরার কয়েন কয়েন তো আমাদের বাড়িতে থাকে, ইজিলি অ্যাভেলেবেল। এই কয়েকটা ম্যাটেরিয়াল দিয়ে আমি একটা কনসেপ্ট বাচ্চাদের কাছে বোঝাতে পারছি এবং সেটা যথেষ্ট ইন্টারেস্টিং হবে। থ্যাংক ইউ।
দেখতে পেলাম যে ওয়েস্ট মেটেরিয়াল দিয়ে কিভাবে আমরা বিভিন্ন টিএলএম তৈরি করে স্টুডেন্টদের কাছে দেখাতে পারি, সেরকমই একটা ওয়েস্ট মেটেরিয়াল হলো এই প্লেটটা। এই ধরনের প্লেট আমরা বাড়িতে অনেক ইউজ করে থাকি। অনেক সময় হয় কি এরকম প্লেটে ফুটো হয়ে যায় বা কোনো কারণে ময়লা হয়ে গেল, যার ফলে আমরা এটাকে ইউজ করতে পারবো না। তো এরকম প্লেটের সাহায্যে কিন্তু আমরা লাইফ সায়েন্সের খুবই একটা ইন্টারেস্টিং টপিক নিউক্লিয়াসের স্ট্রাকচার সেটাকে কিন্তু আমরা বোঝাতে পারি। কিভাবে? প্রথমে টিচার স্টুডেন্টদের জিজ্ঞেস করবে যে আচ্ছা আমরা যদি এই প্লেটের মধ্যে কোনো ডাল বা তরকারি দিয়ে দিই, তাহলে কি সেটা গড়িয়ে পড়বে? পড়বে না। কেন? তুমি উঁচু জায়গাটা সেটাকে বাঁধিয়ে দিবে, তাহলে এই উঁচু জায়গাটা কিসের মতো কাজ করছে? তরকারির মতো কাজ করছে। এইভাবে আমরা নিউক্লিয় পর্দা সম্পর্কে স্টুডেন্টদেরকে আইডিয়া দিতে পারবো। এবার আমরা যদি এভাবে কিছুটা কেটে দিই, এটা বোঝানোর জন্য যে নিউক্লিয়াস আর সাইটোপ্লাজমের মধ্যে কিন্তু যোগাযোগ স্থাপনের জন্য এরকম নিউক্লিয় পর্দার মধ্যে কিছু ছিদ্র থাকে। এই এই ছিদ্রগুলোকে বলা হয় নিউক্লিয় ছিদ্র। এই কনসেপ্টটাও আমরা বুঝতে পারি। এবার নিউক্লিয়াসের মধ্যে আর কি রয়েছে? যে সবচেয়ে ঘন যে বস্তুটা রয়েছে, যেটা অনেকগুলো রাইবোজোম দিয়ে তৈরি, সেই বস্তুটা হলো গিয়ে নিউক্লিওলাস। এই নিউক্লিওলাস কি দিয়ে তৈরি? রাইবোজোম দিয়ে তৈরি। সেটা বোঝানোর জন্য আমরা অনেকগুলো কেমিক্যালের বল জুড়ে তৈরি করতে পারি নিউক্লিওলাস। এবার সেটাকে আমরা প্লেটে জুড়ে দিলাম। এবার লাসের পর নিউক্লিয়াসের মধ্যে আর কি থাকে? নিউক্লিয় জালিকা। এবার জালিকা বোঝানোর জন্য আমরা যে কোনো ধরনের সুতো আঠার মধ্যে আগে থেকে ডুবিয়ে রাখতে পারি। এবার নিউক্লিয় জালিকার কোনো নির্দিষ্ট প্যাটার্ন নেই, যেহেতু এই কনসেপ্টটা বোঝানোর জন্য আমরা এই সুতোটাকে যেমন ইচ্ছে তেমন এভাবে প্লেটে ছড়িয়ে দিয়ে কিন্তু নিউক্লিয়াস জালিকার যে কোনো নির্দিষ্ট সেই কনসেপ্টটা স্টুডেন্টদেরকে বোঝাতে পারি। নিউক্লিয় নিউক্লিয়াসের মধ্যে আর কি থাকে, নিউক্লিয় রস, সেটা বোঝানোর জন্য আমরা কিছুটা আঠা এভাবে ঢেলে দেব। এবার নিউক্লিয়াসের মধ্যে আর কি থাকে, নিউক্লিয় রসের মধ্যে থাকে দানা দানা রক্তম, যেটা ইতস্তত যেমন তেমন ছড়ানো থাকে। সেই জন্য আমরা কিছু থার্মোকলের বল এটার উপর ছড়িয়ে দিয়ে খুব সুন্দরভাবে স্টেপ বাই স্টেপ স্টুডেন্টদেরকে আমরা একদম তৈরি করে নিউক্লিয়াসের গঠন বোঝাতে পারি। এভাবেই চার্টের মাধ্যমে বোঝাতে পারি, কিন্তু চার্টে যেহেতু অলরেডি সব জিনিস আগে থেকে দেওয়া থাকবে, অ্যাকচুয়ালি কি হয়, স্টুডেন্টরা সব জিনিস গুলিয়েও ফেলতে পারে আর ওদের হয়তো অত মনেও থাকবে না। কিন্তু যদি ওদের সামনে আমরা স্টেপ বাই স্টেপ করে দেখাই, তাহলে কিন্তু স্টুডেন্টদের কনসেপ্টও ক্লিয়ার হয়ে যাবে আর ওরা সহজে বুঝবেও না। এভাবে আমরা স্টেপ বাই স্টেপ শুধুমাত্র একটা খেলা আর কিছু জিনিসের সাহায্যে নিউক্লিয়াসের গঠন কিন্তু স্টুডেন্টদেরকে বোঝাতে পারি।
Good afternoon, one and all present here. Today, on this auspicious occasion of National Science Day, I am going to demonstrate by using a low cost TLM the concept of physics, which is inertia of rest. As we generally know, that student finds concept of physics very difficult to understand. They may generally memorize the terminologies or the definitions, but they fail to grasp or visualize the actual concept behind the topic. So, so today by using these simple materials, as you all can see, I have a piece of a cardboard here and a coin and a glass which is easily available at our home and a scale. So we can show how the inertia of rest works. As we can see, we know that inertia is the tendency of a body or an object to remain at rest unless acted upon by the external force. So what here is coin which was at rest remained at rest, and the cardboard which I pushed it went away, right? So this way we can use simple TLM and low cost TLM to teach concepts of physics, right? Recently, our first semester B.Ed students, they have been to science center. You all also have you made this TLM, right? But there you used materials which was very costly and it was very time taking, and you have put in lot of efforts to make this. But as you can see, the same concept can be taught by using simple no cost TLM, and you can make students understand the concept by real life experiences rather than just verbal explanations. Thank you. Inspiring demonstration by prosperous students. Innovative use including media. Innovative use of low cost digital learning materials. So, manufacturing is required expensive equipment, requires creative observation, passion for learning. The program has beautifully reflected the spirit of natural science day. Curiosity, innovation, inclusion, and knowledge. The inspiring stories of women in science, the enlightening lecture by a esteemed resource person, and the class special. Every segment has strengthened our belief that science is for everyone. That one for ভবিষ্যৎ সমাধান হিসেবে কারণ শিক্ষার্থী এবং ভবিষ্যতের শিক্ষক হিসেবে এবং আমাদের নবদিক দাও এই মাসগুলি চিন্তা ভাবনা নিয়ে
সবাই অবগত গণনা আমাদের শিক্ষক শিক্ষার্থীদের এবং অনুষ্ঠানের শুরুতে
Side to side. তুই একটা জিওট্যাগ তুলছি বাবা। থ্যাংক ইউ। থ্যাংক ইউ। আচ্ছা ম্যাডাম কি সরে যাও, দেখবেন